Hi, my name is Tim Willits, and I'm the Chief Creative Officer at Saber.
And my name is Craig Sherman, and I am the narrative director and head writer at Saber.
So, Tim, can you tell us what your position entails?
As Saber's creative officer, I work with actually all of the studios. So I have the pleasure of not only working on exciting games like Evil Dead, but some of our other games as well. So it's my job just to make sure that the teams are, making the game that we all envision.
Of course. And what about you, Craig?
I'm the head writer, so I write most of the stuff that's in our Saber games, and also have a team of writers who do the same, and we work together and oversee narrative.
Saber has made incredible list of games to play for sure, and you've done some horror ones in the past. So Craig, can you tell us what made Evil Dead special for you guys to take on?
We are I think I can speak for Tim too, we're huge fans, and so when we got this opportunity, there was no question that we definitely wanted to do it, and we were honored. And it was important to us, I think, two things. Number one, we wanted to make sure, the community is very passionate. The Evil Dead community, the horror community, we wanted to make sure that those people felt like we had their back. And we wanted to make sure that even if you weren't a fan of that you could jump in and have a lot of fun in the game. And hopefully look at the movies and the television show because you like it.
With the Evil Dead franchise. So obviously this made Bruce Campbell a horror icon, and his character, Ash Williams, is one of the best. Many horror fans would say. So what was it like bringing Ash's character to a video game?
A lot of people have said, was there a lot of pressure to get it right and so forth? And I felt like it was more of an honor for us to be able to do that. I felt like it was pressure, but responsibility to get it right. I watched the hell out of the movies and the TV show, and took a lot of notes. And of course, Bruce and Sam and everyone else, who's involved with the Evil Dead franchise had to look everything over and make sure I got it right. So I knew at the very least, they would tell me if I didn't get it right. So it was a thrill.
One of the cool things that Craig was able to do was he was able to come up with a story justification for why all these different characters from different movies and the television show were able to work together in the game.
It was fun. The idea is that Professor Nobi is the beginning of the whole Evil Dead franchise. He finds this book, the Necronomicon, in Castle Kandar, and that's the beginning of our whole story. In the films, you see him recording these logs.
I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
The Sumerian text in the Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead, and he summons the demon, which starts everything and infects his wife with the spirit of the demon. And in our story, we have these things called the Nobi recordings, where we go a little further to try to fill in some gaps in the story. And in our game, we provide the information that following his wife becoming possessed, he is reading the Necronomicon and sees that there's this prediction of a hero from the sky coming to save everyone. So he tries to summon the hero from the sky with incantations in the book, but he accidentally summons all of these characters who have worked alongside of Ash and brings them into this space so that we have now a justification for them all to fight on the same team.
Oh, wow. I'm sure horror fans are going to love this game. Can they expect Easter eggs to be involved in the game?
Yes, lots of Easter eggs. I had a great time inserting as many Easter eggs into as many places as I possibly could. The development team, they put a lot of them in as well. I've seen things that I didn't even know since the game came out. I'm like, wow, they put that in. And so as far as the words and the text and that sort of thing, yes, there are a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of deep cuts, references, no pun intended. I don't want to give it away because I'm excited every time somebody finds one, and they've been finding them.
Yeah, don't give them away because we love to search for them each and every time we watch a film or play a game. So when it comes to the design process, like putting together a video game, what does that look like, Tim?
One of the things we wanted to do with Evil Dead is to, make it at most fun to play. Getting in with your friends and like kicking demon butt. But because it was an asymmetrical game, there was lots of balance in that we had to do. Like one person gets to play the evil Kandarian demon, while the four, survivors try to battle the evil forces. So, but what we did is we stayed true to the combat of the shows. It's over the top. It's gory. Craig wrote some great lines for the characters, so you kind of feel like you're playing Ash, or you feel like you're playing Cheryl. And then we set up these kind of gameplay mechanics that allowed people to, be familiar with them, so they could instantly feel good and familiar with what they were doing in the game. But then we kind of push them into what that Evil Dead experience would be. So we're very happy with the reaction so far. It's been blowing up the internet right now, and people are just loving the game. So we're very happy.
Groovy.
How does video games really differ from other games that you put out?
So horror games really work out well for video games because, in video games, we as designers try to put you into the action. We want to, instill an emotion from you. And horror isn't a great, emotional trigger. You scared, you jump, you duck in your chair. So to create Evil Dead, which has such rich kind of horror action combat type elements to it, to put that into a video game, so you are actually Ash and you are playing the demon, it's just it takes the next level of immersion, and it really kind of puts you into the action.
And what has been your favorite response and feedback from the game so far?
Number one, I was excited when people started finding Easter eggs and doing a little Google searching to find them, which, people were like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And also, I'm really excited that I've seen more than a couple of people online say that they're so excited. They're not familiar with the franchise, but they're having so much fun that they're going to get into it. And, that makes us all feel good.
Getting the original actors, having the characters that played these parts in the movies playing the video game and posting on their socials. Ray's been posting, hey, I'm playing as Pablo. It's awesome. And then just kind of feeds that community.
Swallow your soul!